Before we begin with this week's update, I'd like to respond to emails from last week's show. Several viewers suggested that our production last week was disrespectful to one member of our football league. In case it wasn't clear, we do honor and respect the personal sacrifices that individual makes on behalf of the rest of us. Perhaps that message didn't come through clearly. Nevertheless, there is an element of truth to these comments. I understand their concern and it won't happen again. From now on, we'll treat Dan like any other member of the league. If he chooses to field a team of Medicare patients and unemployment benefit recipients, resulting in inflated win-loss records for the rest of us, he'll face the music just like any fully competent manager. Thanks for the feedback. We start this week in Hawaii, where Frank Gore posted 19 points as the Volcanoes tipped the Dukes 85-76. The Dukes look pretty thin, with only 2 players posting double digits. Unfortunately, Milan's bench scored 105 unused points. Now, we'll give the Dukes a pass when Brian Westbrook only manages 7 points. But we can't understand why Larry Johnson would be on the field, averaging 1 point in each of his last 6 games, when the 2 running backs on the bench have 171 points between them over the same period. Be honest. Did someone tell Milan that the lowest score wins? Peyton Manning posted 24 points in a futile effort as Coulter-Geist stumbled to a forgettable 80-60 victory over the Kangaroos. The Skinny Chicks were led by 17 points each at the defense and kicker positions as the girls welcomed Tony Romo back with a 9-point performance. The kicking game was also featured by the Roos as Steven Gostkowski followed Manning as the second leading scorer with 14 points. You know, you can't really grasp the magnitude of this debacle until you recognize that the Kangaroos' apple tart recipe outscored 12 of the Coulter-Geist players. The stakes were high this week as the Rednecks attempted to avenge their Week 2 loss to the Cajuns. And while the Southern boys doubled down, insisting their bench could beat the Cajun starters, they only won the posted contest 101-57. With the playoffs right around the corner, a real crisis is developing down in Alabama as the bench is showing itself to be paper thin. 6 of the bench players failed to score, putting the Rednecks 1 turf toe away from disaster. While we appreciate the confidence exhibited by the Rednecks management staff, we'd politely remind them to feed the bench something more than acorn squash soup. What started as a pleasant Sunday afternoon outing turned nasty as the Bellies rallied on Monday evening to tame the Lions 114-98. The Lions still look strong with each wide receiver posting 12 or more points, but Donovan McNabb's 3 interceptions and 1 touchdown against the hapless Bengals left Randy a little short. The Bellies pulled 22 points for Marshawn Lynch on Monday night to seal the deal and prove the Lions' mortality. A wise man once wrote, "Heaven has no rage like love to hatred turned, nor hell a fury like a woman scorned." So it may have been a bit impolitic for Javelinas coach Dave Bregman to utter a few weeks back,
"It wouldn't be the first time I've slapped Don's wife around, so,
With the Pigs' 6-4 record coming into the game, few would have expected the 2-7 Wives to even whimper. Perhaps Dave should have checked with Kangaroos coach Don Wedding as he walked straight into the second Lorena Bobbitt treatment the Wives administered this season, falling 137-93. Dave's platooning strategy at QB is still paying off with 24 points from Sean Hill, but Reggie Bush refuses to leave the Carson Palmer Memorial Infirmary. Meanwhile, 7 of Catherine's men posted double digits, proving that the guys may talk a big game, but the girls know how to play one. Hey Jeff, you taking notes? Syrup calmly smothered the Dogs 75-65 with a balanced attack featuring solid performances from Kurt Warner, Michael Turner, and Jonathan Stewart. This was a big dance recital weekend for the Dogs coaching staff, and they left Justin Gage and his 28 points on the bench. With Eli Manning and Adrian Peterson as permanent starters for the Dogs, it's tempting to let the team run on autopilot. But getting thumped by Johnny D and his band of merry underachievers should prove once and for all that the Dogs need to suit up with more than just their leg warmers. That's all for this week. We'll see you soon.